Amityville Haunting. Alright, so this is a review of one of the shittiest horror movies ever made. No lie, this might be the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm not fucking around. What a rotten pile of horse excrement. Now, you're probably thinking, hey, I like that movie. The remake was meh, but yeah, that's a classic. No, this is not the Amityville horror. It's the Amityville Haunting. And let me tell you, it has nothing at all to do with the actual story. Let me start off by giving you a little horror history lesson. The original movie, called The Amityville Horror, starring James Brolin and Margot Kidder, is based on the novel of the same name by Jay Anson. The novel is based on the story of the Lutzes, a family who moved into a house called High Hopes on 220 Ocean Avenue, Long Island, New York. The story goes like this. Prior to the Lutzes moving in, there was a series of murders involving one Butch DeFeo Jr., in which he killed every member of his family with a shotgun. He was convicted and tried. He claimed voices in his head told him to do the deed. A little later after that, the Lutzes move into the house, and after only a month, they fled from the house in a frenzy, not even going back to collect their items. They claimed to have been terrorized by paranormal activity. The story got made into a book, which then got made into a 1970s horror movie, and the nation went up in a media wildfire over the claims that the story was real. After that, there were a bunch of sequels. Amityville Possession, Amityville 3D, Amityville Dollhouse, and yeah, they all sucked. But none sucked more bison shit than this heap of fuck. I don't even think it's in the same canon as the rest of the films at all, seeing as how it was developed by the Asylum, which is the studio responsible for shitty knockoff movies such as TRANSMORPHERS, American Battleships, and TITANIC 2. So let's get into this movie. First thing I want to mention is that it's found footage. Now, Netflix is filled with shitty found footage horror movies, so you instantly know that this one is going to be a fuckfest of a movie. It's a new trend that got resurrected with the Paranormal Activity series. Granted, there are good movies in this category, like VHS and Cloverfield, but most movies in this genre are utter shit. A lot of my reviews will be about movies in this genre. Alright, so I'm going to rip into this shitbag by analyzing 4 crucial aspects of a horror movie. The plot, the characters, and the acting. I'll bunch those two together because they're kind of the same, not the same thing, but they're related to each other. Special effects and the scare factor, meaning how effectively the movie can scare the audience. First off, the plot. The plot of this movie is so damn uninspired and stock, they might as well have called it a movie where a family moves into a house and paranormal shit happens. That's basically it. There's nothing else to it. No depth, no underlying twists or plot lines. What I don't get is that the family never mentions that the house that they're moving into is the Amityville house. It's implied that it is in the opening scene when the teenagers break into it to have sex, but the family never mentions this. And get this, the realtor that's showing them the house dies instantly. We're never shown how or why. She's just dead for no reason. Just check it out. What a rotten pile of fuck. And the next day, a mover they hire dies too. Wouldn't you be like, 2 people died in here in rapid succession. Maybe we should reconsider moving in. But no, they say fuck it. Anyway, like I said, there's not much other to the plot than them being haunted. So, moving on. Second, the characters and acting. The characters and acting in this movie is some of the worst I've ever seen, even by horror movie standards. Fuck, even by shitty horror movie standards. I swear, man, they must have pulled these motherfuckers right off the damn street and were like, hey, you 5 random people, want to be in a movie? No credentials required, you just need to be a person. The characters are terribly typecast and stock, and with the acting, it didn't really seem like they tried, or at least they decided to grossly exaggerate the role. So let's go down the list. The elder daughter is shown as an extreme stereotype of the contemporary American teenage girl. She's bitchy for no reason, rebellious for no reason, and is constantly texting and nonchalant about everything that's going on. The mom just plays off the typical I'm a stressed out mother role the whole movie. She's fucking useless. The little girl is your basic child in a horror movie. She's the one the ghost or whatever contacts first and makes friends with under the guise of an imaginary friend. Whatever. The dad, oh my god, the dad. He's some ex-military ultra douchefuck who speaks in military jargon the whole film. He calls his kids troops and his son lieutenant. His acting is so terrible near the end, it gets embarrassingly abysmal. Just check this scene out when he's asking his daughter about her new imaginary friend.
He's my friend, and he told me that he used to live in this house, and he was 9.
The fuck was that look? Did he improv that? Was that written in the scene? What the fuck is up with his face? And check this shit out near the end of the movie. I swear, prepare yourself, because this scene deserves every Oscar ever made.
We've not abandoned this camp! Do you understand me? We are at war. Do you understand? This is war. I've been in Afghanistan. 32 people after me at one time. 32 people. I fought them all for drugs. I fought them all for shit. We're at war! Say so, yes, sir! Prepare for duty! Yes, sir! Killers and collaborators. The gates of hell. We are in the gates of hell! Stand down! Stand down! Die, little bastard! Die! Everybody down! Hit the floor!
This is a fucking joke, man. It has to be. Finally, we have the son. He's the one we're seeing the found footage bullshit through, because he's documenting their moving for whatever fucking reason. His lines are hysterically horrendous, and at the end of every day, he recounts the events in these little monologues of his. Check this shit out.
Apologizing to her, and he put this alarm system in because he thought that old houses don't have alarm systems, so he put that in. I think it's because of Lori, but he doesn't. I don't know. And then tonight for dinner, Mel was throwing a fit because Mom wouldn't give her friend dessert.
Man.
So
Oh, boy.
that was awkward.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Alright, yo, we gotta see another. Alright, hold on, check this one out.
To somebody. And then Lori, she got me in trouble today just because I was spying on her. Who cares? Everybody gets spied on every once in a while by their brother or sister. And I got lectured because of that. Nobody knows what it's like being a kid, except for kids, that is. It's just not fair. My parents don't even know what I'm going through. It sucks.
Jesus Christ. Does it get any worse than that shit? Moving on. The special effects are bad too. Really bad. Just check them out. I'm going to show you the scenes with the special effects, and I do use that term loosely. Alright, here we go.
Whoa. My sister's door just opened.
Now hold the ladder, will you?
Okay, first off, why is it whenever something paranormal happens or whatever, the camera starts flickering black? It's so unnecessary. Secondly, what the fuck is that black shape that popped up? Is that a ghost or a demon? They never explain. Who knows? It's a fucking free-for-all with this movie. And what about that scene where the guy gets electrocuted? It looks like fucking shit. The wire just fell off of the roof or whatever, and then like laid on top of him, and then he got electrocuted. Then yellow glowing orbs floated over his body. Is that what it looks like when someone gets electrocuted? I don't think so. That and why is that supernatural? That could have just been a freak in nature accident. It's so fucking bad. Also at times in this movie, the picture will say corrupt video, as if the evil energy in the house or whatever is fucking with the playback. Like this scene where the daughter gets all fucked up. But let me ask you, if the footage on the camera became corrupt, wouldn't the rest of the footage be fucked up too? All it does is flash on the screen for a second, then the movie continues. What's the point? Oh, because they didn't have the fucking budget to show someone actually get killed in this movie. So they leave the unknown aspect of it in. It just happens. People just die. We don't see how they die or what kills them. They're just dead. They just end up dead. It's such fuckery. Anyway, finally, the scare factor. Alright, so in horror movies, even when the acting, the plot, and the effects are bad, it can still be somewhat saved if it's creepy enough, right? And you're probably wondering, well, is this movie even slightly creepy? Fuck no. Most of the movie, nothing happens. Or at least nothing even remotely scary. For example, check this scene out. What the fuck was that? Nothing happened. Not a goddamn thing. And this is what happens for all these kinds of scenes in the movie. Which is nothing. Nothing fucking happens. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, so for most of the movie, we're meant to believe that the ghost child that gets friendly with the little girl, John Matthews, is behind all the mayhem. But you're like, it couldn't just be him. He's just a ghost of a kid. There has to be some kind of demon or malevolent spirit at work here. Well, there is another ghost. You ready to see what he looks like? You expecting something scary? Well, here he is. Seriously? Seriously? And how does he kill people? He screams at them? I swear, they literally went on the road, found some dude, was like, hey, wanna be in a movie? Put some blood on his forehead, and boom! There we go, guys. The main ghost of our film is here. Who is this character? No one knows. He's just there fucking shit up. Usually in movies with a haunted house with a history, the family goes researching about any off things that happened in the residence. But here, it just happens. No backstory, nothing. This dude is just here. He's the evil ghost, and we have to accept it. No rhyme or fucking reason. What a miserable pile of anal dump. If you really want to see the end, go ahead. I won't spoil it for you, but you've been warned. In conclusion, this is probably the worst horror movie I've ever seen. Hands down, bar none. And I've seen some shit. But this one takes the cake. This one takes the shitty scale to a whole new tier of absolute asinine fuckery. You know when people say, man, I wasted my time, or man, I wasted my life watching this or doing this? Well, most of the time I think, no, you didn't waste your time or your life, because you made the conscious decision to engage in the time-wasting act. So obviously, you had nothing better to do. But in this case, I agree. You could be shoving needles up your ass and it would be a more suitable activity than watching this movie. You could be inspecting feces for corn and it would be more productive. The makers of this movie should give everyone who viewed this putrid pile of fuckcock reparations, whether monetary or assets owned. Fuck this movie!